8 or 9, 10 weeks before competition. It's not a healthy thing to do, but it's being used.
Did you take them?
I take them. I took them, yeah, up until the competition, 8 or 9 weeks before competition. And
right before I came here, I took a shot because I was like, hey, it's gonna make me feel better on camera.
I mean, the health issue for me right now, it's not really. I feel healthy. I feel on top of the world. So when I take steroids, I feel a lot better than when I'm off.
He says, you take steroids? Yeah, I take 3 Dianabol a day. Or someone else would say, I would take this, and that.
If you train properly, diet properly, take this you're going to feel indestructible. Who doesn't want to feel like that?
I don't even know what I'm buying. And I can buy it. I can just click, add to cart, and there you go, steroids.
Dead air. How big do you want them? Normal, veiny, and for the ladies, hairy. I was a wimp before Anchor Arms. Now I'm a jerk and everybody loves me. So order now, wimps.
So how did this become the status quo? We start in the 1930s where anabolic androgenic steroids, or more commonly known as steroids, were invented to help men combat testosterone deficiencies, but on further use, or rather its abuse. Abuse being the use of this drug without a doctor's prescription. This was primarily used across general sports and even bodybuilding to give competitors an unfair advantage as they help promote the growth of muscles. So much so that in the 1980s we saw a large rise in its use across many different male groups. And this was also followed by a famous but very controversial win in the 100 meter Seoul Olympics final of 1988, leading to the United States passing the Anabolic Steroids Control Act of 1990, which over time other countries followed. Now fast forward to current times and it's actually becoming a trend, a lifestyle to use steroids, to strive for massive gains, a glorified advantage despite its legal status. But you know, most people are actually not fans of getting regular injections. But you see, even for them, there's something else.
What are your thoughts on SARMs?
SARMs, you know,
it just keeps coming up.
So I have the bottles here, the SARMs and the MK.
You see this sandwich? I put my SARMs on my sandwich. I'm about to hit the gym, be bigger than you, forever.
But what are SARMs? Simply put, they are seen as an alternative to steroids, also under the performance enhancing drug sector, which through the use of social media have completely blown up, as there's no need for injections and they're actually technically not illegal. But to be honest with you, they are unregulated, unlicensed, and specifically not for human consumption, so shouldn't be sold to the general population. So given the well-documented side effects of anabolic steroids and the growing concerns over SARMs.
Blurry vision is one of them, because that 1 month I was on it, I thought I was literally I thought it was just me. I thought I aged like a year in like a month.
Why do so many people continue to use these substances? Unrealistic body standards. It doesn't take much to find yourself dwelling on your physique and sometimes feeling down based on everything you see and can compare to. Some being natural and some, well, being anything but that. But comparisons are made, and that's no shade of course. So in a time and society where quick fix microwave results are revered, scenes like this.
For those of you saying, oh, it took me years to get where I am. Yeah, I don't want to wait that long. I'm impatient.
Are sadly not that surprising.
No, you know I ain't lying.
The same body standards have even changed action figures. Just look at the comparison between action figures in the 1970s to now in the 21st century. There's pressure from so many angles to desire, work to, look like, and be a certain way, no matter your age.
I had a phone consult with the parent of a 13-year-old girl asking me which SARMs to put their girl on so that they could be better at sports. I'm like,
no matter the cost.
We've seen sudden cardiac death in young athletes who otherwise had no cardiac issues and were taking testosterone or other androgens.
And this is even without including going under the knife to achieve an admired yet usually unrealistic aesthetic look. It's become a way of life that those same standards have even infiltrated their way into a kids show being SpongeBob SquarePants, where they accurately portray and so in turn expose the dark reality behind the world of unrealistic body standards.
I want to be just like him, yeah!
In a playful yet pragmatic way with the episode Muscle Bob Buff Pants. The episode starts at SpongeBob's house where we find him flexing in the mirror before starting a workout, but we can assume despite the low weight he was going for a personal best. Sandy then knocks on the door and SpongeBob decides to answer, instantly talking about how much work he's putting into his workouts. Sandy sees his workout station. She's low-key confused, says you won't see any progress with it, especially if he wants to look like her. And honestly, I think she's on a little something herself. I mean, look at this.
Or these. Or these.
SpongeBob feels a little disheartened in comparison, but Sandy says he can get there if he follows her training program. He starts to have thoughts of what he could be like if he gets buff like that, how that would be able to change everything, and then of course agrees. The episode moves on, we proceed to the training program, and to say it was a bit much for SpongeBob would be an understatement, but the last workout takes the cake. She calls it the
Arm cruncher. Arm cruncher, great.
And at this point SpongeBob realizes himself that
This squirrel's trying to kill me.
so takes a timely exit stage right. We now find him back at home, lying on his bed, feeling sore from the session, where his moaning gets interrupted by a sketchy TV commercial trying to sell what I'd say is analogous to steroids, SARMs, the like in real life. And unfortunately, hook, line, sinker, I know the company felt like
We got him.
at first glance, the training session and the sketchy TV commercial may seem purely comedic. And they are, but they actually also highlight the stark dichotomy in the pursuit of unrealistic body standards. On one end of the spectrum, you have workouts so intense that SpongeBob feels death is in the cards, which is analogous to the workouts actors need to do for upcoming roles. As an example, Zac Efron said his workouts for the movie Baywatch led to insomnia and a pretty bad depression for an extended period of time. On the other end of the spectrum, we have a commercial that was able to lure in an unexpected customer in SpongeBob due to him feeling wimpy, scrawny, and quite frankly, never expecting to make any actual gains of his own, and therein lies the problem. An initial healthy quest for gains here becomes a reliance or dependency on things rarely understood, rooted in unhealthy comparison. And even if they are thoroughly researched like anabolic steroids, is it actually worth the potential drawbacks, especially when reliance on these items leads to even further use of them despite not knowing what that's going to result in, as showcased as the episode continues. The episode continues and SpongeBob now has anchor arms, walking around Bikini Bottom with the citizens being astonished. He heads to the best place to show off his gains, being Bikini Bottom's Muscle Beach. And here, even the gym people are amazed at what he's done, which leads them all to follow him, trying to really understand what is his secret, how did he do this? And of course, he knows nothing, so gives horrible guidance.
First, I take my hand and I do this.
Are you kidding?
Do these muscles lie?
And even in his horrible guidance, still shows no modesty because he feels like the man. But soon after this, the episode goes through great effort to show us he actually hasn't changed much. He still is SpongeBob, he still is, unfortunately, quite scrawny, where he can't even lift up his juice to drink. Sandy shortly comes over and is actually also impressed by his muscles and says he should put them to the test in an upcoming competition later on that day, an anchor toss one to be precise, which SpongeBob knows of course he can't compete in, but is stopped in his tracks to stop her by the bartender putting another cup of juice over his hands, and as we know he can't lift it, he isn't going anywhere, he's locked in place.
What? SpongeBob? SquarePants.
The competition kicks off and SpongeBob is terrified as he knows he is a fraud, but tries to compensate for his lack of strength by blowing into his artificial muscles, causing them to grow in size, and so should help him with the task at hand, should being the key word. But more important is the subtle way the writers of this episode brilliantly convey another problem typically associated with men: muscle dysmorphia.
Very curious as to why my waist is thicker than usual. Upper chest needs work. Why is my waist so thick? My arms just aren't big enough in comparison to my chest and my back.
SpongeBob being deemed the biggest in Bikini Bottom, but still feeling the need to have even more muscle as he feels it's not enough, is initially playful, but at its core highlights the struggle some people face feeling trapped in a toxic cycle of never being big enough, muscular enough, forever feeling small. For some, this constant sense of inadequacy can lead to anxiety, depression, and in extreme cases, the pursuit of gains can even lead to life-threatening consequences. The competitors around him are now throwing their anchors and are actually doing quite well. You eventually get to his turn and the crowd are cheering him on, even imitating his workout routine. And as expected, the struggle begins. In efforts to simply get over the hill of picking up the anchor, he continues to push the needle with anchor arms. I promise you, there was no pun intended there, but I'll take it. Taking the gauge up to the highest level, now feeling he's ready to go for it. And along comes the side effects. Ending with the arms luckily only just exploding, and as you'd imagine, not having fatal consequences. The episode ends with Sandy and SpongeBob training again, but this time meeting in the middle with a workout routine or program that's more suitable for SpongeBob's current fitness level.
9, 10. Can you get that?
Now for me, the ending of the episode does two things extremely well. The first item being that side effects of using some of these enhancers are real, overlooked, life-altering, and sometimes fatal. SpongeBob ended up losing control of his body in the process, which is not a far cry from how the human body reacts when consuming SARMs or steroids.
When I come off officially, I'm gonna have to go to the doctor probably for the rest of my life. Yeah. Get test treatment.
Where studies showcase cognitive abnormalities using steroids, but I want to specifically look at another side effect, sudden cardiac death, which studies showcase also sometimes occurs. To keep it simple, this happens as the heart grows in size due to it containing cardiac muscle, which steroids will help grow by default. When this grows too large in size, it can actually be detrimental to the efficiency of pumping blood within the heart, with the situation ultimately starting to get a bit dire from there. A doctor in a video titled "The Side Effects of Steroids" by National Geographic said this about people being able to effectively take steroids safely long term.
I think those people are kidding themselves. The best data that we have are autopsy studies. That means someone died.
Now there's probably exceptions to the rule, there usually is with many things, but for the vast majority of us, is it actually, once again, worth it? The second item well executed is the understanding of where you are in your fitness journey. What started off with Sandy clearly overexerting SpongeBob with the workout routine ended with her tailor-making a program for him which was just right, which the same needs to be done for us all. There are fundamental best practices which are great for everyone to undertake, but based on my specific goals, my workout plan, diet, and even additions like supplements is very unlikely to be identical to most people, and in most cases it shouldn't be. This is even more important when comparing ourselves to our favorite in shape influencer or celebrity, especially when sometimes there's more than meets the eye. No shade, but take the Liver King for example. Aggressively denied using steroids for a while, saying he got his gains through working out hard, of course, no one's taking that away from him, but only simply eating liver.
Yeah, you eat that.
And then of course we get the truth that he's been lying the whole time.
Embarrassed and ashamed because I lied and I misled a lot of people.
Following what he said may have actually got people some gains, but without the help, sadly hitting a physique like that is probably reserved for the 0.01%, if that. But you know, I think that's okay because I'm not sure it's something we all need to strive for. You see, I can't deny, aesthetics does have an impact on many of us. The better you look in front of that mirror, the better you generally feel. And so I'm an advocate for exercise, staying active, especially with the additional cognitive benefits studies show it provides. But I'm also of the opinion that regular exercise is recommended for all to be healthy and feel good. And the evidence around unrealistic body standards doesn't support this, despite this long term being the most important. So I'll end with this. We should all exercise, sometimes even going all out like SpongeBob here, but I probably wouldn't go that far. I won't be liable for any injury, ensuring that we are all working towards reaching our fitness goals, even our aesthetic goals, in a healthy way, and making this the new narrative so positive change will be televised. As always, thank you for watching, and I definitely need to stress that by no means am I an expert in anything I discussed here, but thought it's actually an interesting issue, a real issue that thoroughly links to a great episode of SpongeBob that I had the privilege of watching when I was younger. And of course, if you did like the video, then definitely leave me a like. Somewhere on the screen, probably here, there should be a video that you also would definitely appreciate and like. So definitely give that a watch, a click. And until next time, take care, stay blessed, and peace.